Hi, you are on the African Therapist podcast, and this is episode number 15. Hello, and welcome to African Therapy Podcast. My name is Clarisse. I am an intuitive coach, psychic, and traditional African healer. And on this channel, I'm here to talk to you and to reveal you the secrets of the divine feminine and to reveal to you the secrets of the African spirituality. We're here to talk about love, about sexuality, about spirituality. And I'm here to reveal to you the secrets, the things that nobody talks to you about. And my intention is to create a discussion, a safe space where we can talk about what matters to us. The intention is also to provide you with the secrets that will enable you to create the life, the love life, the sex life, the business life, the life that you wish to live. So if you're ready, have a seat, listen to this episode, and join this conversation by joining our newsletter or by joining my Instagram page that is private, where we can have those conversations together with love and non-judgment. Have a beautiful day, my love, and let's head up to today's episode. Hello, hello, my beautiful souls, my dear goddesses. How are you doing? I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're doing well. And it's been quite a while since the last time I did an episode on this podcast, on this YouTube channel. I think you know now that I am kind of creative and pretty prolific. And I have actually four different podcasts. um, One that is Thérapies Africaines, which is the French version of the podcast that you're listening now. One is Aisha's Secrets, a podcast in French too, dedicated to sexuality and divine feminine path. And here on African Therapies, I decided to have this podcast in English because, as I already told you, I also channel in English. And um, today I wanted to talk about ancestry work. But before we do that, I wanted to thank you all. Thank you so much. You are more and more here to subscribe. You are more and more here to book cowrie readings with me. And I'm even considering starting a Facebook group to join you all and to start a conversation where we can, um, talk and talk about what we're going through. So if you're interested, you will certainly find the link below in the description box, because I started that, I think it was 1 year ago. I launched something and I didn't even, think about talking about it. So I will put the link and the group, the Facebook group. The name of the Facebook group is Healing the African Way. And so we're going to talk about healing today, and we're going to talk about ancestry work and how to work with your ancestors. Because one of the things that I've seen is that people will contact me and want to know more about um, their ancestors in Africa and all of that. Um, they they want to go very, very far away. Some of you want to go to ancient Kemet. Some of you want to go to Africa, some of you forget that ancestry work, working with your ancestors, starts with the ancestors that you know, the ancestors that are the closest to you. And I know that this can be delicate for some of you who were adopted, who didn't grow with their family of African descent. And for you, you have to understand that nothing happens by chance. And even if your family, the family you grew up in, is not your family by blood, you've been intermingled and you have decided, you have chosen this family on a soul level for you to learn certain lessons. So this is your family too. And I want to talk to you about the first steps to work with your ancestors. The first steps to talk with your ancestors, to work with them. And this first step is to go back to your family's history. This is really the first step. To know who were your grandparents, even your own parents. You will realize when you will do this work that you don't know your parents. You don't know your parents. You know very little about their history. You know very little for the most time. I'm called the womb care advocate, huh? And most of the time I work with women and I work with their womb and their womb traumas. And you have to understand that the womb in which you were created, whether it's your mother by blood or the mother who adopted you, she created you in your womb too. She asked for you, she prayed for you, all of that. This womb says a lot about the emotional state in which your mother was when she was expecting you, and it tells a lot about your own challenges, traumas, patterns that you don't understand. And sometimes you have blockages in life. You keep repeating over and over and over and over again the same shit, the same stuff. And I'm a Leo woman, so I know that this is something that we have a tendency to do. We are not, before 30, we're not very emotionally aware. We don't understand things until it keeps repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating, and now we understand. And one of the keys to understand the reasons of your blockages is to work with your ancestors' story. Not history, his story, the story of whoever is the he that wants to teach you things that have no sense of relevance to you. But your story, the story of your mother, start with your mother. How was she emotionally when you were in her womb? How was she? What did she think? What did she believe? What did she go through? Positive or negative? How was she emotionally? You will realize, because when I did this work, I some of the memories that I had when I was a little girl came back. I I remembered that I'm actually not the first that my mama carried, and she had a miscarriage before me, so I'm the second child. When I thought that I was the first, I'm not. And after you do this work, you will realize that, well, maybe you've been doing the same thing as your mother did, and you keep repeating those, uh, you know, ancestral traumas that need to be healed. Do the same thing with your grandmother. How was she emotionally? What did she go through emotionally when she was carrying you? When she was carrying your mom, sorry. And if you can, do the same thing with your great grandmother. How was she? What was her life? What did she go through in life? What was her reality? What did she believe? And once you know that, I want you to ask you this question. What is the common denominator or the common trait between our stories? And there you will see what is actually what Indian calls your karma. What are the things that you need to let go of, to get rid of, that are preventing you from becoming or being the person that you want to be? You know, those obstacles and blockages that these are the reasons. These are the reasons why. And spiritually, it is said that if you want to change something, you have to make one with it. You have to make one with it. You have to embrace it. You have to love it. And this is a difficult process. Because for some of my clients who've been through deep traumas, especially with their womb or their skin that have been attacked, assaulted, you will realize that those things were passed on from generations to generations, and that you have to make one the pain of your mother. Make yours, sorry, the pain of your mother's pain. Make one with it. Make one with your grandmother's pain. Because when we don't do this, we have a tendency to reject a part of ourselves, a part of our history. Because we only see the consequences of this trauma and we don't go to the root. And let me explain that to you. I have a client of mine who hated her grandmother. She hated her grandmother. She hated her grandmother. And I said, well, if you hate your grandmother, you're also hating yourself, because you're hating the one who carried your mom, and you're hating yourself. Those women are 50% of your DNA. So you're hating half of yourself, right? She was taking her grandmother responsible for a lot of stuff that happened in her life, and especially in her mother's life. She thought that her grandmother was too harsh, that she had been horrible with her mom, that she hadn't been loving enough. And because of that, her mother was not loving enough with her, was too harsh, was, those mother values. And this type of motherhood was something that she really hated to the core. And she wanted to be something else. So she hated her grandmother for that. She hated because she considered that all of the things that she lacked when she was a little girl, the arms, the loving arms of her mother, the stories at night, the her mother used to work a lot, and so she really felt abandoned. And she put that on the fact that her grandmother was the same and that she was asking money to her mother all of the time. And due to that, her mother was obliged to leave her and to go to work. And so when we were when we worked together we did a calorie reading, and I said, there's something here with your mother and your grandmother. You're turning your back from them. And then she talked. She sent me that email and told me what happened. And then she booked a session with me where we actually had a conversation. Those conversations are important. And I told her, you have to understand your grandmother. And so we went, talked to the grandmother, and asked her, why was she like that? Why? Why was she like that? Why was she so harsh with her children? And she revealed to us during a reading what was the original trauma that made her this way. And she asked her granddaughter to do a favor to her. She asked her to sit with this pain because she never allowed herself to do it. She asked her to cry for her. She asked her to sit with this pain because when she was alive, she never allowed herself to do so. And when her granddaughter decided to do that, and I was there with her, we did this work during a retreat that I held last year. All of the pain and all of the grieving went away, and all of a sudden she was healed. She was healed. All of the blockages that she had in her life went away. All of the difficulties that she had with her mother went away, and the difficulties that she had with her children went away too, with her own daughter. She allowed herself to be sometimes as harsh as her mother was with her, as harsh as her grandmother was with her mother, sometimes when it was necessary, something that she never allowed herself to do because she thought that this was what caused her misery and trouble when she was a little girl. So ancestry work is very important. It really helps you relieve pain, and you have to understand that your ancestors who are in the astral plane need you to do this work in order for them and for your own family lineage to elevate your soul. I hope that this episode was helpful in any type of way. I wish you a very, very, very beautiful day, my loves. And I would be more than happy, to welcome you in our Facebook group, Healing the African Way. Bye-bye. So, my loves, have you already done ancestry work yourself? Did you ever go back to your mother's story, to your grandmother's story, to your great-grandmother's story, maybe? And what did you learn from that? How did that help you transform yourself? I would be more than happy to read your comments and read your stories in the comment section. Have a beautiful day, my love, and talk to you very soon for our next episode. Bye-bye.